Hey folks, this is Johnny. Welcome to another Home Studio Trainer Show, and today I'm going to show you how to remove Melodyne from a track. It's actually quite simple. And before we get started, if you could, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, enable the notifications so that you know when these things are going to show up. You can even join the channel and help out with a little bit every month, or you can go to my Patreon, which is really starting to expand now, and join and support the channel over there as well. All right. Cool. So let's go to the classroom. So here is Melodyne on an audio track, a really terrible audio track, which I'm not going to punish you with. So you can see that it is here. So I'm going to show you the keyboard shortcut as well as the mousing shortcut. As you guys know, I'm not a big keyboard shortcut person. I do everything that I do mousing. I use very seldom do I use any keyboard shortcuts because I'm just wired that way, I guess. All right. So in order to remove Melodyne, you want to make sure that you select the event. And I don't have a Mac keyboard here, so I'm going to show you the symbols in the lower left on what you need to hit. And as far as I can tell, it is Command-Alt-M. Just like that. Now it is gone. Those are the keys. Now, if you're questioning what keys to hit for this, you can always do this. I'm going to right-click. And I'm going to say Edit with Melodyne. You can even do it this way. Let's actually check this. And if I want to remove Melodyne, it gives you the shortcuts right here. So if you're on a PC, you'll be able to see what the shortcuts are also. So this is the mousing part of it here. So if you want a mouse, you can edit and remove Melodyne just right here. If you don't see them in your recent items, you can actually go down here to Audio, and you can find them here. Edit with Melodyne and remove with Melodyne. Really, really simple. Okay, so you have Melodyne inserted. Now, let's say you want to save the changes, but you don't want to have Melodyne running in the background. If you go over here to the inspector, you can see here, if I actually close, look for event effects. And if you have Melodyne actually inserted on your track, you'll see that you'll have a render option. I'll show you that in a second. So if you click the little caret here, boink, there we go. Now we can see the inserts. Now remember, these are the inserts for the event, not the track itself, not the whole track. So if you have your vocal track cut up into little pieces, it is always a good idea to actually Melodyne each of the little pieces rather than a 3-minute vocal. It just has something to do with some of the resources and just works faster. So, cut up your track, Melodyne the pieces that you want to Melodyne, and if you go to the inspector, you can actually see it listed here under Event Effects. All right, so let's remove it from the Event Effects. Really simple. You can see it right here. You right-click, and you can say Remove. Gone. Perfect. All right, so now if we go ahead and click on this, right-click and say Edit with Melodyne, let's put it back, you can see here there's a render option. So what you can do here, now, if you want to work just with the audio and you don't want to deal with Melodyne and have it running in the background, you can render the Melodyne on the track. So I can go ahead and click on Render, and boom, it's rendered, just like that. So it is now a pool file. You can see I've done this a couple of times here. All right. Now let's go back here, and let's go back over to this side here. And now you see here there's a Restore button. Now see, here's the cool thing. If you choose to work with this, no problem, because you'll be working with one of these rendered. This is the original up here, and these are all the rendered takes that I've done. So if we go back to the inspector, if I hit Restore, it actually puts everything back. I can make changes, and then I can hit Render again. Boom, and you see it added another one here. So no matter what you do and what happens, this is just kind of a side note. You have all of your rendered takes here in the pool. So for some reason you foobar the track or you accidentally delete it and you can't get it back, you have the pool to actually pull from these different renders, or you can just go back to the original one. It's really nice and easy. All right, so let's go over here. Let's do the restore. Now we're back to this. So now if you want to get rid of this completely, you can either use keyboard shortcut that I showed you. Make sure you click on the event, right-click on Melodyne, and say Remove. Boom, done. So those are all of the different ways you can add Melodyne, you can render Melodyne, you can undo the render, which is nice, because if you do a Control-B, and you bounce the Melodyne, you can't undo it after that, unless you actually do the undo feature. But then you would have to undo any changes that you made after the original bounce. So it's always a good idea to do the render option if you have Melodyne inserted. Boom, just like that, the render option right there. Really simple. You can also just turn it off. That way you don't have to hear the Melodyne work. You can just hit that little power button right. And then you see Melodyne, right click and remove, and we're done. Now the cool part is once you do the render and if you do the restore, you have all of these bounces from the different edits that you did in the pool. So you haven't lost anything. So when you remove, you use the render, and you undo the render, and you create all of these different takes in here. You can remove Melodyne and not have to worry about losing any of the ideas that you had when you used it. And in the pool, you can always go back to the original, drag it into your track, and start all over. All right, that went a little bit deeper than I planned on, but those are all of the different ways to actually render, remove, and move around in Melodyne in Studio One using the ARA option, which is the one that opens up directly in Studio One. All right. That was a lot more than I planned on going through. So let's see. Let's go back here. So let me know what you guys think. Please leave a comment or two in the comments area. Let me know if this was thorough enough or if I missed anything. Definitely let me know, and I will do another video, a follow-up video with any additions or corrections that you guys might catch me at. So there you go. That's going to do it for me. Hopefully you got something out of this video, and I will talk to you later in the next video.